Welcome to the Fishbowl with Jade. Thank you for being here. I don't take your presence lightly because time is something you can never get back. Now go ahead and put on your scuba gear because today we're diving into something a little different. This isn't just a conversation. This is a story. And not just any story. This is a piece pulled from my book, What I Took from Them, available on Amazon. This is not the full story, but it's enough to make you pause, enough to make you think. Because this story sits in a place we don't always talk about out loud: admiration, envy, and that quiet thought we sometimes have. Why can't I have that? You see, sometimes we look at other people's lives, their relationships, their stability, their happiness, and we don't just admire it. We start to believe we could do better with it. We start telling ourselves things like, if I had that, I would appreciate it more. I wouldn't make those mistakes. I would do it right. And in this story, that's exactly what happens. Now, let me be clear. Although Cupid is my main character, this is not just a Valentine's story. Cupid in this story is not about romance. Cupid is a symbol, a metaphor for what happens when you are given exactly what you think you want without understanding what it costs. Because everything that looks good, everything that looks peaceful, everything that looks perfect is usually held together by something you didn't see. And sometimes the only way to understand that is to carry it. So as you listen to this, I don't want you to just hear the story. I want you to ask yourself, have I ever looked at someone else's life and thought I could do that better without knowing what it required to keep it? Let's get into it. There was a woman named Mona, and Mona didn't think she was jealous. She thought she was observant. She spent time watching other women's lives, their relationships, their marriages, their happiness. Everything looked effortless. Everything looked right. And there was one woman she knew, not closely, but enough to watch: Linda. Mona knew Linda from a distance, through shared spaces, shared conversations, shared moments where you see just enough of someone's life to form an opinion, but never enough to understand it. She observed her relationship over time, the way her husband showed up, the way he listened, the way their connection felt steady, not loud, not performative, just consistent. And instead of seeing it as their life, she started to see it as something she could do better. She told herself things like, I would never lose a man like that. Some women don't know how lucky they are. I could appreciate that more. And without realizing it, admiration turned into comparison. Comparison turned into entitlement. And Cupid saw all of it. He didn't see a woman who hated love. He saw a woman who believed other people's happiness was misassigned. He saw someone who mistook visibility for truth, who believed what she witnessed was the whole story, who thought wanting a life badly enough made her worthy of stepping into it. That was why Cupid chose her. Not because she was cruel, but because she believed love was something you could qualify for. By comparison, she didn't want to destroy another woman's life. She wanted to replace it. And that quiet, justified, unexamined belief, that's exactly where Cupid's arrow always lands. Because Mona never thought she was stealing anything. She told herself that. She didn't want their homes, their routines, their things. She just wanted what worked. She wanted the kind of love that didn't feel fragile, the kind that showed up without being chased, the kind she had watched from the outside and quietly believed she would never have. So when Cupid's arrow found her, it didn't offer her a fantasy. It offered her a choice: not to build a man, not to fix one, not to wait for love to become safe, but to take it exactly as it was. So she chose him. And when she woke up, she was in Linda's life, Linda's home, Linda's bed, with Linda's husband. And Linda was gone. Not divorced, not separated, gone. And here's the part that's uncomfortable. Nothing felt wrong. He loved her the same way he loved Linda, patient, present, consistent. The house ran the same, the routines stayed the same, the life continued. And Mona told herself, this is what I deserved. Until she realized something. He didn't choose her. He was reassigned to her. And that love she thought she earned was never hers to begin with. But here's where everything shifts. Because Mona didn't just take the good parts, she took everything: the life, the responsibilities, the silent struggles. She went to the doctor one day and found out something that wasn't hers either: cancer and the inability to have children. And that's when it hit her. She didn't take a better life, she took a heavier one. She took a life that required strength she never had to build. And the man who loved her was loving the life, not the choice, because that love was never about her. It was about who he already was. And Mona realized something too late. We don't just want what people have. We want the version of it we see, but we don't ask what it costs. We don't see the quiet struggles, the sacrifices, the things people carry without ever posting. And the most dangerous thought we can have is this: I could do better, because better requires understanding, and understanding requires experience. And sometimes the only way to learn that is to carry what someone else carried. Until it humbles you, Mona got her life back, but she didn't get it back the same, because now she understood something she never did before. Every life that looks like a goal is held together by sacrifices you don't get to see, and wanting what someone else has without understanding what it costs will always ask more of you than you're prepared to give. So let me ask you something. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and thought, I could do that better, without ever knowing what they had to carry to keep it? Thank you for sitting in the bowl with me. Now let's come back to the surface. Stay classy, stay curious, stay ever evolving. Jade Mills' The Fishbowl can be found on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. The complete stories from my book, What I Took from Them, is on Amazon Kindle. Search Jade Mills. 3 stories real and relatable.